Well, it's impossible to replace a boy like Steve Spurrier, but this Ekdahl boy is a good sophomore, and he's been playing some good football, making sophomore mistakes, but they haven't been critical mistakes that have beaten us yet. But I'm sure he's going to be a real fine quarterback when he gets a little more experience.
Ekdahl and Steve Spurrier.
Well, no, they're really hard to compare. I would have to say right offhand that, well, Ekdahl's a better runner than Steve, and probably Spurrier was a better field general and a better passer, and he had a knack of picking out the second and third receivers probably better than any quarterback that I've ever seen. But they're hard to compare at this young stage.
Your great running back Larry Smith led the SEC as a sophomore last year. Now he's a junior. It looks like he's on his way to another SEC title.
Well, if he leads the conference in rushing this year, he's doing it the hard way. Of course, our passing attack is not quite as much a threat as it was last year with Spurrier, and now he is a marked man. They know he's our top runner, and we are relying a little more heavily on our running games. Every yard he makes, he's got about 4 or 5 defensive men on his back, and an inexperienced offensive line too, haven't helped his situation. But he's a fine pass receiver and a good blocker and a real fine runner, and he's having a good year. I'm sure he's going to be right up at the top at the end of the season.
What does the rest of the Florida schedule look like?
Well, of course, now you worry about everybody. Of course, this week we've got LSU. They look like a real fine football team in their first 2 ball games. Then we play Vanderbilt and Tulane, and then we get into a real tough November schedule. Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, and Miami, and of course FSU. That's always a battle. That's a civil war down there. So we've got some of our toughest ones ahead.